Alright, you clicked on this video because you want to fix your burned domain. Perhaps you're seeing worse numbers than you think you should be seeing. In this video, I'm going to show you step by step on how you can fix it. The first thing I need you to understand is there's no magic fix for this. If anyone tells you that, hey, you're going to be able to fix it in 2 clicks in just 2 days, they're probably lying to you. There's a bit of a process to it. It's simpler than you think. And although you might not think you're able to recover them, it is just very simple. Let me show you. So there's really no tricks you can do. It's not a secret tool. There's no warm-up hacks to this. It's going to bring it back overnight. It is very straightforward and very simple. So what you actually need to do is stop bleeding and do a rehab. So instead of doing cold sends, you need to prioritize warm sending, right? So that's pretty much the whole thing to it. That's pretty much the whole game. Let me walk you through the exact step-by-step process that we do when we're sending millions of emails every single day. It's going to be a 7-step process. Roughly, it's going to take 7 days. It might take a little bit longer, it might take a little bit shorter amount of time. Let's go. Step 1 is obviously you need to make sure it's actually burned. And by the way, if you want this document, just comment below this video and I'll send it to you, or just send me a message on Discord and I'll get you this document if you want it. All right, back to the video. So step 1, again, just make sure it's actually burned. So what I mean by that is a lot of people just have a little bit of a misconception is you blame everything by yourself. So you blame the inboxes, but not the leads, not the actual copy, and not the message market fit, which most likely is the case. So either your leads are shit because you haven't done the proper research into them, you're using a rerun list that's used by 15 Pakistanis before you. So make sure you get fresh, good quality lists. Make sure your offer matches your leads. And if that's, all the case, then, well, it might be your inbox. I'm going to give you some signs again that you can look for to see if it's actually cooked. So again, number 1, reply rate fell under 1%. So why 1%? Well, this is just sort of a general rule. So if you're messaging people, we're emailing people who are generally active and check their emails quite regularly, you're going to get minimum 1 to 2% out of office reply rates if your inboxes are good. If it's below 1%, you might need to look a little bit deeper because there might be a little bit of a problem behind the scenes. All right, so next is your emails landing in spam even with good copy. Now, this you cannot cold-heartedly verify. You can use some tools, but like the best way I found to track at a large scale is to track your out of office reply rates, and that's it. For example, if you're sending Outlook to Outlook and the Outlook emails being flagged even before they send, so sender bounce is high, then something might be off. If your bounce rate is 4 to 5% or even just higher, something is off. Warm-up emails are not inboxing anymore is also another sign that it's cooked. If you're just seeing bad like human response rates, that's most likely again just your message market fit, or the leads are not right for the message, right? So that's pretty much it. If any of these symptoms just occur, at least like a couple of them, you need to stop sending cold emails. Not slow down, but you actually need to stop. Full stop. You don't send any cold emails. Every cold email you send is just gonna make it harder to recover. All right, once you have this, you identify the problem. Next step is gonna step into the rehab mode. It's gonna take a couple days. This is the boring part, but this is what's going to save your inboxes. So 0 cold emails. Doesn't matter what sequencer you use. It could be Plus Vibe, it could be Smart Lead, it could be Instantly, it could be Email Bison for all I care. Or you could use any of the budget ones, which I never recommend because they have some precautions as well. So just stop sending cold emails and only do warm up. So for example, if you're doing Outlook, I generally recommend 5 cold per day and 5 to 8 warm per day as well. So what you need to do at this point is completely stop sending cold emails and do 10 to 12 warm emails, and that's it, right? For a couple days. Now, if you're doing Google, you need to do between 20 and 25 emails per day. Again, this depends. If you're using something else, you could send more, you could send less. It depends again on the infrastructure. Google Workspace, you can send more. Outlook, you can send less. SMTP is also a little bit different, but I would just match what you were sending with Outlook. And now for the important part is you want to make sure you randomize the replies and you randomize the percentage of which you get actually sends to. So what I mean is the 20, 25%, 20% variation. So it's not always the same amount of warm emails you send every single day. So you want to do 60% replies, 20%, 25% randomization. And again, plain text, but the sequencer is usually handling this. So no links, no tracking, none of this stuff. But again, sequencers usually handle this. All you're doing here is just telling Google or Outlook, hit sender is normal and human, and that's it. That's really the trick. This is where most people screw it up. You do not bring the burn domain back into cold. Instead, you fork your setup. The burn domain becomes just warm emails, replies, real conversations for a couple days, maybe up until a week. It could take anywhere from 1 to 2 days to a week. It really depends on how screwed your stuff is. But the burned domain becomes slowly just good reputation. So it's going to have good reputation. So cold goes to new sibling domains, same brand, not different route. And at this point, it's just generally recommended to, again, diversify. And that's why I always mention, like, don't put all your eggs in one basket, because, for example, if you burn yourbrand.com, getyourbrand.com is what you need to diversify into. I'm not saying you can never send cold emails again from this domain, but it's generally best to, let's say, have like 100 domains that you're sending from, like, diversified. So 20 on this campaign, 20 on this, 20 on that, and then 20 on here, and then you have another 20 here. So it's diversified, right? So if these go bad, then you have 80 left still you can still send from, right? So it's good to have. And also, if you're getting cooked, if you're getting burned, I always just order more inboxes. That's what I mean. Just fork it, and then you can revisit this, because it might take 1 to 2 days, but it might take a week, might take 2 weeks to recover. And sometimes it's just faster to get new inboxes, but these are going to recover eventually. And that's the cold hard truth that nobody tells you. You can save them, and you are going to save them. It's most likely the best and most cost-effective way to do it. But again, don't use your main domain ever for cold emails, because it's going to get burned. And make sure you diversify so you don't get all your stuff cooked if something goes wrong. All right, step 4 is get the new domains ready. Basic stuff, you know how to do this. Step 5 is warm the new domains properly. This is something just for Google. Again, Outlook and everything differs. If you want a more detailed guide on like warm up, I have tons of videos on this. It's just very simple. Again, just make sure you follow basic warm up protocols. And step 6 is just restart cold slowly. Again, if you want to. At this point, you can. If you want to wait a little bit longer, you can also do that. But at this point, like day 6, it's safe to restart it, but be patient. So don't overdo it. 3 to 5 cold emails per day per inbox. Even with Google, you gotta be careful and wait at least 60-minute between sends. No links, no HTML, no images. So, you know, the basic stuff, just plain text only. And also your copy needs to be good. Leads needs to be good. Everything needs to be good. Otherwise, it's gonna get cooked yet again. So spam filters, they don't really care about how smart your offer is. They care if it looks automated. So you want to watch out for that. You want to make sure your copy seems and sounds human as possible. All right, step 7, just the final stuff. Just make sure you watch the numbers. Watch if bounce rates are below 3%. Watch if reply rates are over 2% within a few days. And you're getting 0 spam complaints. Your replies are coming in, then that means you're clean. Unfortunately, there's no like percentage of like actual like inbox health you can look at. There's some you have on, you know, your sequencers, but that's not really accurate, right? It's just really just for the warm-up scores. It's a decent indicator, but you know, it doesn't scream 100% accurate. So you gotta watch out for these stuff I mentioned. So again, reply rates, emails landing in spam, outlooks being flagged, so sender bounce being flagged, bounce rates are high, warm-up emails are not inboxing, so all this stuff. So the real lesson here is the burn domain isn't really the problem, right? Like what caused the burn domain is the problem. So either you sending to shit lists, your copy being bad, you know, inboxes in general are always good. If you mess it up, it's on you. Usually it's not the problem. Of course, there can be some issues with inboxes if you get them from a shit place, but it's usually the one that breaks it is you by doing bad lists. Again, volume ramp too fast, copies too templated, automated trash warm-up pools. Like there can be many things. Again, it's just so many things you need to watch out for in email. If you don't fix that, again, everything's just going to be that much worse and your reputation is going to go bad. So I listed like 10 things here, but you know, it's not like one thing's going to cook you. It's all like the combination of adding all these things together, which is going to make your stuff cooked. And that's just the sad reality. You need to think of it like, you know, stacking the reputation up. If you do a few things bad, it's going to stack it down. But if you do everything well, even then it could have some problems. So that's just the sad reality of cold email in 2026. But there's just less and less competition nowadays because, again, it's just getting harder and harder to do it. So if you figure out a way to actually make this work, then you could just take all those people's clients and just have an easier time yourself. All right, hopefully this video gave you a little bit of insight, a little bit of help into what to do when your emails get cooked. So with this in mind, I hope you got some value, and I'll see you in the next ones. Cheers.